So guys, today we'll talk about the secret behind success in trading, something I've been talking about with someone by email a couple of minutes ago. And I want to stress this, it's really important. By the way, we'll do a Q&A like every Friday, so you can comment below your question in the chat. I think it should be on the right or on this side. Comment below for your question on any topic you want. We'll get to your question in a few minutes. And welcome back. We have a few people. Trader Dude, what's up? Nice. Oswald, awesome. Stalin, of course. Nice. Welcome, guys. So yeah, I want to stress this and make this really clear. I was exchanging an email with someone a couple of minutes ago. His name is Alex. And Alex was asking about basically... So I'll give you a bit of context. He's been trading Forex for 7 years now. No, for a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half. And he's been blowing up his $2,000 account twice. Now, his problem was the lack of having a good trade setup. Nice, awesome, a bunch of people. So his problem was the lack of having a good trade setup. So he didn't have any setup to trade with. He's been following different gurus, different courses, different programs, seminars, reading different books. And I'm reading his email on this screen, but yeah. And he's been learning a lot of stuff. And now, in the past 3 weeks, his account nearly got burnt out again, nearly blew up. And the problem is, he says he's getting in a trade, and the price reverse as soon as he gets in the trade, okay, in the opposite direction, of course. So he's asking, how can I get my setup right? And I want to make this very clear because I get that question quite a lot, like about probably every day. And here's the thing about trading in general. Okay, so you need to understand that the success in trading doesn't come from setup. It comes from three parts. So yes, the setup, but also the risk management and the mindset. Now, if you put all your energy on one, you might be really good at setup. Like you might understand everything there is to know about technical analysis, how things work, how price moves, all that stuff. Okay, you can be really good at that. It's really easy to learn. But then, if you get really good at that, and the other parts are not mastered, so the mindset and the risk management are not up to par, everything's gonna fail, and you're gonna think that, oh, my setup is wrong, so I need to fix it, and you will work more on your setup, and then you will get to a new point. You have a nice setup, perfect, wonderful, awesome, and then you trade, and then you crash, and then you say, well, okay, it doesn't work. My setup is false. I need to go back on the setup, but you forgot those other two aspects that you need to work on. So the best exercise you can do today is you want to rank yourself on those, the three different parts: the setup, the risk management, and the mindset, or psychology, whatever you want to call it. And if one is too low, out of 10, like if one is at 3, 4, 5, even up to 6 or 7, then work on that one, master that one first. And then once you get one to like 8 or 9 out of 10, like it works, and you took the right action, then work on the other ones that need to be mastered, like the other 2 ones. And then once you have the lowest taken care of again, work on the other one missing. And then you will have the whole component. Now, at that point, if you do things properly, you will become profitable. And it's as simple as that. There's no wasting time. There's no problem because everything's going to be taken care of. But if you focus only on 1 or 2, then you get to the point where you think you're right because you've spent all your time on something, but that something was not the right thing. That something was something to only kind of patch the problem and only learn. And that's a big misconception. Most people spend more time, and most of their time, like 98% of the time, on setup. Learn the setup, master the setup, new techniques, trading strategies, methodology. But they forget the other 2, and they wonder why they're stuck. So that's something you need to really understand. And also a big aspect, guys, is if you have your setup and your money management and your risk, your psychology taken care of, well, the other aspect is you want to track everything, and then you want to evaluate. Like, if you've been trading for a year and a half with the same strategy, the same setup, you have like a bunch of trades that you took, and you have a good risk management, good mindset, then you will get to a point that say you're not profitable. Well, go back on your trades that you've tracked, of course, because everyone tracks trade, of course. Comment below if you don't track your trade, or if you track your trade, I want to know. Comment below for sure. So yeah, if you have been trading for a while and you track your trades, then you can go back and say, well, this is the problem. Like, I can pinpoint, oh, this doesn't work. Like I did myself a few months ago. I said, well, or like a year ago, I said, well, this, like, I've been trading, this works well, but I think there's a better way to do it. I think I could, first of all, miss less trades, and second, I could try to like increase the reward a little bit of that strategy to get more profit. And I did these two things, and it worked. I became better. And the same thing goes if you're not profitable. What is not making you profitable now in your tracking that you like in all the trades you took? What is this big tendency overall? Find that, understand that, and you will find the answer to become profitable. Okay, so I just wanted to put this out of the way. I know it's pretty simple, I believe, for myself at least. But if you want to play, this is really good to apply if you want to play it yourself. So we'll get to your question, guys. This is, as always, on Friday, a Q&A. I want to make this less kind of strict and less teaching, but we'll like teach based on your questions and what you want to hear about. So comment below in the chat with your question. Comment below in the comment box if you're watching the replay, and we'll answer your question. So I've seen comments about Spanish. What is that? Let's see. Oswald says technical analysis combining with fundamental. Yeah, that could work. Someone says profitable trader. Trader Dude says I use Wanda trade performance tool lately. Okay, that's good. Canada, nice. Wanda. How do you trade the DXY this week? All right, I don't trade that, but whatever. So you guys can help me with your question. I want to maybe touch on another topic that I find really important. But if you guys have any question, basically this is a Q&A. As always on Friday, so you can comment with your question in the chat. Alejandro, what's up? Wonderful. I like the question. Alejandro always have the best question ever. If you guys can have a question up to par to what Alejandro asked, that would be awesome. But this is a great question. So, what things or aspect would you suggest journal? Now, it depends on your personality, right? It depends what you prefer, what you like to do, and what you like to see. So, I personally, like, one thing I would not ever give up is I want to journal a screenshot of my trade. Like, what was the trade? How did it look like on the chart? Because ultimately, I trade the chart, and I need to see the chart to trade. So if I don't if I don't see the chart, I cannot know what's good, what's bad. And it's amazing, like the tweaks and the things you can find by looking at your past charts of the setup you took, the trades you took, and analyze like what is the commonalities, what is different, what is always the same, and what leads to more losing trades, and what leads to more winning trades. If you can find that, big difference in profit because you can apply and change your trading right away. So that's really good. And then you want, like, people say you have to track entry price. I don't necessarily track that too much. I track more kind of what zones I've been trading because I want to go back and see how many times I traded the same zone. And then I track pretty much a good kind of feeling of what went. So what happened. I write down like what I did, what profit I took, when. Just like a small overview. What I did wrong, if I did something wrong. Why I missed a trade, if I missed a trade. All these things. That's something I track. And then the rest is only a kind of screenshot, pair. And you want to classify, of course, between categories. So what is a good trade, a bad trade, a winning trade, a losing trade. That's important. So all these things you can track. And that's what I suggest to journal about, for sure. Also, if you have a goal you want to put in place, something you want to achieve, write it down somewhere, right? So that you can track that, see if you implemented that goal properly, and see how your results are on that goal. That's super awesome. Does over time a person has to change his strategy with changing markets? I definitely believe so. I'll give you an example, and this is pretty simple. I said that 100 times before, but I've been trading Bollinger Band reversals for a long time. The strategy I trade right now, okay, that's been a long time. But I used to trade that on a daily chart and a forward chart. Okay, that worked really well for some time. I was getting good profit, low involvement. I could trade that all the time. And then I got to a point where things like I realized the market doesn't move as much on a daily chart as it used to. It feels like you get in a trade on a daily chart and you won't even get to 2-to-1, and price will reverse. So it seems like the move are tighter and not as big as it used to be before. It mightn't be for all the pairs, but for most pairs, that's what I noticed. So I scaled this back, said, well, this doesn't really work too well for now. what can I do to fix it? And the answer I came up with to fix that was I'll trade this on lower time frame because they work really well on lower time frame. On a 1 hour chart, this setup worked great. So I went on the 1 hour chart and I dropped the daily chart. And that's kind of how I adapted to the changing market. And you might not have to change like your whole strategy. That's fine. You can change only parts of it. And actually, that's better. You change only parts of it, because if you change everything, then it's gonna be too much of a hard work, and you have to backtest everything again and test everything out. So you change some small parts to make it better in the market now. And I think that's how you evolve to the market. Okay, and it might go back. Like you might go back in a month and say, well, okay, it looks like the daily chart now is good. I can trade that. Go back on a daily chart and trade that again. Or you might add some candlestick setup that works sometime well, and other time these candlestick setup don't work well at all. So you have to change that again. Okay, so that's an example of that. Yeah, so cool. Bruce, what's up? I think I had an email from Bruce. I'm not sure I replied, but yeah, awesome. Cool. I have a problem with setting goals, setting how much you want to achieve that week Monday. Well, here's the thing. So about goals in trading, the market doesn't care how much money you want to make this week or this month or this year. It doesn't give a clue. And the chances of the market responding to your money needs is zero. Like it just won't happen. So you need to adapt yourself to the fact that you won't get money from the market because you set a goal for that. And you won't get money from the market because you ask for it or you try to trade more. So goals are much better in trading to be put as kind of implementation goals or process goals, things you want to put in place, project you have, new backtesting you want to make, new techniques you're looking into. Those are going to be much more rewarding over time than a goal of money that you missed to achieve because you've been trading too much or you've been not putting the right work. Okay? So put yourself a goal every week of what you want to achieve, what you want to get done that week. That could only be as simple as respecting your take profit or respecting your stop loss. Okay, that's the goal for the week. Track yourself at the end of the week on how good you are on that goal. And then after that, see if you can put another goal. Like what is the next step you wanna get better at? Maybe it's gonna be not stand in front of the chart when you take a trade, or not stand in front of the chart where you have a trade going on. Just go away, close the computer, and come back after. That could be a goal. And then you implement that, track yourself, and then want something new. Okay, all those process goals, they are much better than big income goals, because income goals are easy to miss, especially in trading. Okay, that's how I would go about it. I saw a question about taxes. When do you actually need to file taxes for Forex? Well, at the end of the year. But that depends on the country, of course. Okay. So yeah. What brokers do you use? I use Rwanda. I've said that a few times. They're good. I saw a question about, yeah, regulated brokers is the way to go for sure. Okay, that's for sure. I saw a question about, how do you plan to change in the future? What do you look for? I look for more automation. Adam, good question. More automation, less involvement. And that's basically what I'm working on right now. Okay. So I want to be able to take more trades or more strategies without looking more at the chart and without having to be there to place trades. That's my big goal right now. And I go with that. Yeah. Alejandro says, for taxes, always go with an accountant. Yeah, tax advisor. Tax rate from country to country for sure. Yeah. And we had a meetup in Montreal last Tuesday especially about taxes. A bunch of good comments. I thought I would share with you guys, but I didn't, because it's like I'm not the expert at that, and I can only share what I heard, and it might not be exactly as precise for your needs, so I didn't talk about that too much. But if you want, we can get into that in the future too. But yeah. Adam, how's the trade notification app coming? It's going well. It's about to be launched. We're almost done, and I should be launched in a couple of days. You might get an email about that soon, Adam. But basically, the past 5 or 6 months, so I've been working on an app, a trading assistant. Been working with a few of my students too, Alejandro, who's here today, on a kind of system to be notified of the trades before they occur, so you can place a trade and not watch the chart all the time. That's kind of how I've been able to gain freedom for myself, because I don't have to watch the chart all day now. I actually don't watch the chart at all during the day, pretty much. Okay, and then I just place a trade when I need to, when I see there's a setup, and I get the alert. So that's coming well. You should be notified pretty soon by email if you're on the email list. If you're not, you better get there, because this is not going to be available for everyone. I'm kind of trying to put it to launch it small first, see how it goes, and then put it to more people. But that's going to take a while. I use TradingView alerts. Yeah, they work well, except that it's hard to get them. So you have to get them either by email or on the app. So you either have to be there, or you have to open your email, which I hate to do. But yeah, that works well too. That's a good start. That's how I started to get alerts on TradingView. Someone said something about, if you look into a position where, yeah, I'll get to that after. There was a question about which book is a full technical resource for Forex trading. There's a book called, it's a really big book. I'll try to search for the name. It's something called the Technical Analysis of Financial Markets, I think. Yeah, Technical Analysis of Financial Markets. That's a book that covers like all the stuff about technical analysis, all the indicators, all the tools. You could use that. That's a good start, but it's a really big book. So if you want to learn and search ideas, that's a good book to have. What else? I saw a question about, okay, this is a good one. So how much track record do you need or is needed to get funding, and what % return is regarded as great? It's not about track record necessarily. It's not about a percentage of return. First of all, the return they look for is a ratio of reward to risk. So how much % do you make compared to your biggest drawdown, right? And a good measure I heard from Samuel Leach, you can watch interview, it's going to be on the channel too, but a good measure you can look for is a 3-to-1. So if you have a 30% return in a year, your lowest drawdown should be 10%. Okay, so 3-to-1, 30% reward and 10% drawdown. Okay, that's a good measure. But other than that, that's what they look for. And then track record, it depends. Some look for a big track record, like 12 months. It's kind of standard. Some people is going to be just testing you like on the spot, so no track record. But it depends. I found that when you go with people that are professionals, like so investors that are outside of big firms, they don't care about the track record. They more care about kind of the relationship and what you can get them. And people in big firm, they care more about testing you and seeing how you perform under stress or in their company, because you can have some tests, some trials, and stuff like that. So that's about it for track records. Let's see. Yeah, getting a job is not so easy these days. Yeah, these Morgan Stanley boys are pretty rude. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, if you try to go for a big firm, first of all, they will ask for diplomas and like experience in the market. But if you go for these small prop firms or these individuals on the side that are not in big companies, they have no clue or no requirement for diplomas or for track record. They just want you to perform, and they're ready to teach you sometimes. So I would go with that more than big firms like Morgan Stanley or whatever. That's my opinion, but I would definitely go with that more. Getting 4% a month, yeah, that could work. That's fine, but it depends what your drawdown is. If it's like 10% your drawdown, and you get 4% a month, 10% not that bad. But if you get a drawdown of like 10% a month on 4% return, then that's not too good. Right, so you might want to work on that, and it's not too hard to work on for sure. So that's about it. So yes, I've been so busy the past few days. It's incredible with the training assistant I'm working on. But I just want to do this video today to kind of keep up the schedule and do the live Q&A as always. I'll have to leave soon, but if you have any question, like maybe one or two more, I'll go through them. I saw a question here about from Aaron. Have you ever been into a position where strategy is not working and you just want to quit trading? Yeah. How does one come up with that mindset to find courage to carry on? So yeah, it happened in the past. When I had this big drawdown a few months, like a year or so ago, more than a year. sorry, like 2 years ago. So I had this big drawdown, and I found out that this strategy didn't work too well. That was trading for that time. So that's not a big thing. It's not a big deal. But at that time, I just wanted to like stop, and I didn't know what to do. But here's the thing: instead of saying, "Oh, I'll stop trading and I'll not do anything," first of all, first thing first is I have this accountability of like, I'm here doing videos on trading. I need to perform. I need to keep trading, and I need to be solution focused all the time. I cannot just say, "Oh, let's stop trading" because I feel like it's not working well. No, like I need to do this again, and I need to find solutions. And the same thing should go with every trader. You need to be in a solution focused state where your goal now is to find solution. Right? If you have a problem, find solution. Don't complain. Don't stay there. Don't be disappointed or mad. Just find solutions. And so what I had to do is I had to ask myself, well, what is it happening now? Is it good? Is it bad? What's the state of the problem? And I printed all my trades to see, well, what did I do the past month that didn't work? And did I do anything wrong? I printed everything, all the charts, find out the problem. And actually, part of it was a drawdown, like a normal drawdown. Part of it was me doing random stuff, like when I had a drawdown. Okay, that's like 2 years ago or something. So I need to correct both. The drawdown, I cannot do anything with it. I can stop trading a little bit if I want, but normally you cannot do much. The mistakes you make, then yeah, you can correct them. You can fix them. What mistakes do I make most of the time? There's only like one or two for sure that you make most of the time. Okay, so you correct those, and then after that, you're pretty much good to go. Okay, it's not too hard. And you just have to work on that and track again in a few months, and soon enough you get out of the drawdown. Okay. Aaron says I was stuck for 6 months and couldn't. I was stuck for 6 months and couldn't progress. Yeah, well, 6 months is not that bad first, and depends what you mean by stuck. Is it stuck like you cannot find what you want to find, or you cannot trade, or you miss too many trades? That really depends. So yeah, a good point Alejandro on getting funded. Yeah, that's good. Awesome. So guys, I think I've answered all questions. I'll have to go now because I'm super busy. I have a lot of work to do this afternoon, even, and the weekend also is gonna be crazy. But hope you guys are putting some work also. Like, you need to show up and put the work you need to put in. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. By the way, free training here linked below, or as you can see here, free training. Okay, it's a training I did a few months back. You can get it. It's totally free, and you get a lot of value from that. It's a couple of good lessons I had that you can apply. Also really tactical, like I like to put it always. And the link to be below is already also written here, which you can check it out. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys maybe not tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll see. It's really messy, but we'll have the weekly review once again every Monday for sure. And enjoy the weekend. Ciao.